The year is 1966, and this car was witnessed for the very first time at the Rose Bowl, Dodge's fastback offering, the Charger. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that shows these cars like you've never seen them before. We talk history, details, specs, design. Most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds of interest, the channel that you'll totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. 1966 Dodge model lineup. These aren't in any particular order. Dart, Cornet, Polara, Monaco, all new for 1966, the Dodge Charger. Dodge offered wagons in every model except for Charger. They had a truck line going from half-ton all the way to the big commercial. Dodge also sold service vehicles such as taxi cabs, police cars, and sportsman wagon. Dodge offered the Charger from 1966 through 1978. They took a bit of a break, coming back in 1981 through 1987. Took a longer break, coming back in 2005 through 2023. Production has technically ended, but in light of the market moving to EVs, but with recent news of Ford, Toyota, and GM not putting all of their eggs in the EV basket, who knows? Dodge could keep going with the Charger and the Challenger. They discontinued both of them at the same time. Anyway, Charger was offered in 8 generations. 1966 falls in the first generation, which was produced from 1966 and 67, designed by Carl Cam Cameron, built on Chrysler's B-Body platform, which was Dodge's intermediate size and shares major components with the Dodge Cornet. Let's talk specs. 203.6 inches long, 75.3 inches wide, 53 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 117 inches. It weighs 3,500 pounds. Price, $3,120, which is equivalent to you spending $29,538.50 in the year 2024. Total 1966 Dodge was 632,658 units, of which 37,300 were the Charger variety. Moving on to engines, which there was a plethora of different engine options to choose from. Standard engine was 318 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8 5.2 liters. It's good for 230 horsepower at 4,400 RPM, 340 pound-feet, or 461 newton meters at 2,400 RPM, with a bore of 3.9 inches and a stroke of 3.3 inches. Compression is 9-to-1, 5 main bearings. All of these engines are going to be paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. 0 to 60 in the base engine was 8.5 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 117 miles per hour while achieving an average fuel consumption rating of 13.2 miles to the gallon. And these are all just jumping off points, baseline numbers. Mileage may vary. 361 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8 5.9 liters is good for 265 horsepower at 4,400 RPM, 380 pound-feet, or 515 newton meters at around 2,400 RPM, with a bore of 4.1 inches and a stroke of 3.4 inches. 4-speed manual, 0 to 60, 5.7 seconds. Theoretical top speed of 120 miles per hour. Average fuel consumption, 12 miles to the gallon. 383 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8 6.3 liters. It could be had with a 2-barrel making 270 horsepower or a 4-barrel carburetor making 325 horsepower in or around 4,800 RPM, 425 pound-feet, or 576 newton meters in or around 2,400 RPM, with a bore of 4.3 inches, stroke of 3.4 inches. Compression is anywhere between 9.2 to 10-to-1, 5 main bearings. Backed with a 4-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60, 6.3 seconds, with a theoretical top speed of 130 miles per hour while achieving an average fuel rating of 11.2 miles to the gallon. Moving on to the biggest and baddest engine on offer. 426 cubic inch displacement Hemi head V8 7 liters. It's good for 425 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, 490 pound-feet or 664 newton meters in or around 3,500 RPM, with a bore of 4.3 inches and a stroke of 3.8 inches. Compression was 12-to-1, 5 main bearings. When backed with a 4-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60, 5.4 seconds. Theoretical top speed of 150 miles per hour while achieving an average 8.5 miles to the gallon. Transmissions, there were 3. 3-speed manual, 4-speed manual, or 3-speed automatic torque flight. Standard equipment included but not limited to. Charger could be had in your choice of 16 different colors. Disappearing headlights, backup lights, cigarette lighter, glove box lock, as well as glove box light, padded dashboard, variable speed electric windshield wipers, front and rear bucket seats, all foam padded of course. Rear view mirror, carpeting throughout, seat belts, 2 sets both for front and rear, windshield washer, heat defroster, self-adjusting brakes, tinted back glass, 318 V8 with 3-speed manual transmission. Options, once again, included but not limited to, because we're not getting into all of them. Air conditioning, electric windows, transistor type radio, retractable seat belts, power brakes, power steering, towing package.
Join the Dodge Rebellion with the Dodge Boys!
Charger, new leader of the Dodge Rebellion. Muscle enough to catch anything on the road. Available with 4 barrels, dual exhaust, V8 power, hideaway headlights, 4 roomy bucket seats. Fabulous new full-size fastback. Charger.
And that's not all Charger is. It's also a sports wagon. These bucket seats fold down flat to give you a cargo space 7.5 feet long. Enough to carry skis or whatever you please. Aren't you ready to join the Dodge Rebellion? Drive the Charger. Then price it. You'll be surprised. And that's where the Dodge Boys start to deal. Go see the Dodge Boys. They're wonderful guys to deal with.
This 1966 Dodge Charger is currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, along with 1,000 other cars. Walk right through the front door and I swear you can hear angels sing. Insert angelic voice, because clearly mine isn't one. Anyone could go there for hours of operation, directions, and to get the scoop on this very 1966 Dodge Charger, be sure to click the link below after this show. Let's talk styling. Look at how clean this grille looks, because it has pop-up headlights, or I should say the headlights are on the other side of this grille. Notice the turn signal indicator lights are back there. Bumpers, very basic. Dodge crest there. Dodge is also spelled out in the center of the hood. Also notice these lines in the hood. It starts back here, and then it goes towards the single piece windshield. The wheel wells are flared and capped off with that nice piece of stainless. This one's got red line wheels, sitting on 14-inch tires. This car does have rocker trim, but just look at all of the different lines, that side profile. This has an external cowl, windshield wipers that follow, stainless, as well as the base of the windshield. This car does have drip rails, starts here at the base of the windshield.
ends right there. Look at this pinstripe. Side mirror placement as well as design. The rear wheel well also flares. It's capped off by that stainless piece. Coming back here, just look at all of the different lines. Gas filler cap, left-hand side, driver's side. Let's look at how these bumpers are designed. There's a lot going on with this rear design. It's like creased. There's a ridge there. Also take a gander at how this back glass is designed. It rakes up on the sides. So getting one replaced would be really hard, I would think, because this piece of glass isn't straight, it's curved. I guess it curves up on the sides would be a better word. This door has a lot of heft to it. Pretty heavy door. Just check out the different materials used. This is like, feels like a hard vinyl. Down here, carpet. Right here, brushed aluminum right here. Armrest as well as door handle to pull the door shut. Door handle to get out. Window crank for the big window. Operates like this. Notice it doesn't have a frame around it, but it is notched here, so it can meet up with the top of that. It does have a piece here to meet up with this gasket and not leak when it's raining. This one has a toggle style, joystick style side mirror, as well as vent windows. I love that it says charger here. That's a really nice touch. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, emergency brake and/or parking brake, emergency brake release, high beam indicator, brake pedal, gas pedal, vent, footwell vent, and this is another footwell vent over here for the passenger side. Just take a look at this interior. Here's what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood would look like.
On to the button switches and knobs. 4 pods sit directly in front of the driver. In the very first pod, 2 gauges are found. At the top is the amp meter, bottom gasoline gauge. In the second pod houses the speedometer and odometer. Third pod has the tach. Fourth pod, 2 gauges, coolant temperature, oil pressure. Headlights open, headlights on, windshield wipers, hood release, key, lighter, above the radio, fan blower speed, heat and ventilation controls, radio, AC controls, drive modes read, park, reverse, neutral, drive, second, first.
Up above, we have sun visors. They look like this. There is a cutout for the rear view mirror. There is also another sun visor over here for the passenger. And the rear view mirror fits inside the cutouts. It has a daytime, nighttime feature. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. Here is the glove box in question. Notice this glove box has the cup holder indentations. The hot shoe is giving us issue. It might fit. I'm going to say plausible. I'm just afraid that I won't get my camera back if I try to put it in there. So we're going to say plausible. So this one does have a center console, and it's open. It opens with this button right here. And that's how much space you have to store stuff in the console. The camera doesn't, oh, the camera does fit in the console. And it shuts. Alright, so getting in the back, just fold the seat forward like that. Notice all the carpeting on the back of the chair. That's how much space you have to get back there. So that is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse, or the pillar to glass ratio. It's really nice in this car, and I think it's because it has white interior. This is what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. There is a lot of space back there to put various things if you'd like. Let's talk about the seat back profile. It is rather upright. The bench is huge. But with that said, it is not... I have to sit like this. I have negative knee space, being 6'2". But it's not... It really isn't all that bad. I mean, it's doable. There are coat hooks. There's a coat hook there. There is not a dome light in the center. Instead, there's lights on the pillars back here. There's a light there, as well as a light over here. Coat hook on this side. There is an ashtray, as well as armrest. These windows do go down. They operate like this. But that is a massive window. Just look how big that is. Absolutely huge. Getting under the hood, we've already released it on the inside. There is a secondary catch right here, right behind the E in Dodge. This one's got air conditioning, 12-volt battery, dual master power brakes. Alternator. Distributors right there. Windshield washer tank. And horns.
On the positive side, this is a car they got right very first year. They get meaner after the first generation, but the later versions also lose something that this car offers that the later ones don't have. Performance options, comfortable seats, rear seats fold for more storage space, full instrumentation. Against it, make no mistake, this is a pretty big car. These can be thirsty. Build quality is said to be rust prone. The seats do fold down in the back, but getting stuff in the rear compartment, which is only accessible through the front or passenger side door, it doesn't have a hatchback. If it did have a hatchback, it would definitely be a whole lot better situation. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. Two scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1966 Pontiac GTO or a 1966 Dodge Charger, or 1966 Ford Galaxy 500. I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Moving on to the second scenario, bit outside the box. Would you rather have a 1966 Rambler Marlin, or 1966 Dodge Charger, or 1966 Mercury Park Lane? Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below, or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. I call it the After Party. It gives you the opportunity to share your ride stories, experiences. Anything car related is a go on there. If you don't have Facebook and would still like to reach me, send me an email. All of it will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate everything that you guys bring in the comment section. Until next time.
Toodaloo!